welcome to the next video. And in this video, we're going to chat about a bit about syntax and a bit about PHP syntax. Now, in the previous video, we kind of dived in a bit deep. We kind of discussed. Um, oh, it keeps on asking me this. I'm just gonna quickly go to my command line. I'm just gonna abort this quick. Just give me 1 second. So with uh, um, with the first video, we kind of had a look at basic terms as to how we can create our very first line in PHP. And our very first line was, echoing something. But what I want to chat about before we deep dive in any deeper is, you know, what we actually done, and just discussing just general syntax rules that we always need to be aware of. Now, a PHP script can be placed anywhere in the document, and we know that. Now, when we talk about PHP script, we're talking about these two lines, right? And that is definitely important to know that when we talk about PHP script, we are talking about that. Now, we know now that this can be placed anywhere in in our HTML document. Now, we also know that you know that um, unren- that basically renders to an HTML document once the server is actually gone and read everything up, right? So that is important to understand. And now, a PHP script can start with the tags, as I said, like that. And that's the thing. That's the word, is tags. That I said words. I just got a bit of a forgot about that. So that is definitely what we call it, is tags. And we've got an open tag there, and we've got a clothing tag there. And the default file extension for a PHP, as we know now, is .php right there. And a PHP file normally contains HTML tags as well, which you can see right here. And that's a great example, though. Now, note that PHP statements are terminated by a semicolon, as I said, so it gets terminated. And the clothing tag of the block of PHP code also automatically implies a semicolon. So if you do not have it, um, you don't know, it will apply it automatically. But I would recommend you to have it, because you can get syntax errors as well. Now, the second thing that we want to chat about whilst we're covering syntax is comments. And comments is quite important, and you would probably know that in your HTML experience or your JavaScript experience. Now, we're just going to show you examples of comments in PHP. Now, a comment in PHP code is a line that is not just read, is not read or executed as part of the program. It can only be a purpose to read by someone, by a human, and won't be read by the computer. Now, comments are useful for, to let others know and understand what you are doing. Comments are also to let other programmers understand what you were doing in each step. Now, if you were, let's say, working in a group, or let's say that you are working towards a project that will be taken over. But I'll definitely recommend, as a programmer, from one programmer to another, is to use comments on a regular basis. Now, to remind yourself, it's also a different one we can use. Comment is to remind yourself what you did. Now, most programmers have experience coming back to their own code a year or two later, and sometimes you've got to refigure it out. And if you use comments, you can slash that down. So examples of using comments is, the first one is // and then you can go, this is a single line of comment. So this // is the quick way of doing it, and I'm going to type in number one there because it's the first one, the first way of doing it. And this is a quick way of adding some comment. I normally use // to get by quickly. Other one also to use is hash, right there, and then I'm just going to type number two, and I'm going to say this is also a single line of comment. Okay. So that's also a way of doing it. And definitely hash or // it's up to you. There's no conformality that you need to conform to. The other one is quite great. Is a if you want to use a block, not only just a single line, but if you want to use more than a single line, then you're going to do that. You're going to go / and then star, and then when you have / and style, you can actually go, okay, well, oh, it just restarted on me. That is fantastic, and I kind of knew that that's going to happen either way, so that just stopped on me. Well, we'll continue in the next video, part 2, as to you know what is um, the different comments of that. But we can definitely chat about case sensitivity, and whilst we're waiting for my server to start up again, we can chat about case sensitivity. Now, case sensitivity in PHP, all users define functions, classes, and keywords, etc. If we're going to chat about if functions, else functions, whilst functions, echo, etc., they are case insensitive. Okay, so that means that it's not sensitive. It means that you can type in whatever you want, and that's the same with HTML as well. Now, I'll show you a couple of examples, which we can once my server has started up again, and so that is definitely when we have a look at PHP defined functions. However, in PHP, all variables, not functions, but variables are case sensitive. Now, definitely once my server once again is up and running, I'm going to show you some examples of that as well. So that's what we're going to cover in the next video. In part 2 is I'm going to show you some examples of what can be case insensitive, what is not allowed to, what is case sensitive, or what is not allowed to actually be used with high caps or low caps. But definitely a recommendation that I can give you is always stick with lower cap.